For years, I couldn't escape pain and I kept getting re injured no matter what I did or how many doctors I saw. And it wasn't until I understood these 5 things that everything finally changed. And here's the thing, it wasn't because I wasn't trying, it was because of the noise in the fitness space, the watered down surface level advice that keeps getting repeated everywhere. These 5 things were quietly breaking me over and over again. I was just like most people. I didn't know what I didn't know. And once I finally understood them, I finally recovered from my injury and stopped getting re injured. Hi, my name is Seth, and I've been in over a dozen car accidents. I was in a disabled state. I had doctors tell me I would never be pain free and I would never be able to lift weights again, something I enjoyed doing. They told me I just had to live with my circumstances and that there was nothing they could do for me. They gave up on me. So I had to figure it out on my own, not because I wanted to, but because I had no other choice. I had to take the hard road. So these 5 things are not just theory, they are what allowed me to rebuild myself. So I encourage you to understand each and every one of them because if you're missing one, they're costing you more than you realize. Most of the time, you don't just have one problem, you have many problems, and one event just woke them all up. I used to be a diesel tech, and one of the things that you learn working on mechanical things is that if you're having many different symptoms, those are signs pointing and narrowing down what the problem is. And normally it points to one problem, maybe two. However, I thought it was the same when it comes to the body. And I think most healthcare professionals treat it the same way, where you have multiple symptoms that are pointing to one problem. However, it is not the case what I have found from my experience. Most of the time, you have many problems that are hiding beneath the surface that your body has been compensating for years. There are so many different instances this can happen. It could be as simple as just crossing one leg over the other and building a greater mobility in one leg than the other, meaning one will be tighter than the other and one has greater strength or greater range. Then there you might hurt your knee when you're younger and then you begin to favor the other side when you are dealing with your recovery, but you never stop favoring that side because you built a habit around it. You could get into a car accident or a simple fall, and your spine can shift out of alignment, and you might be sore and stiff the next day or not think anything of it. You recover from it, but that little shift in alignment that's not corrected, well, now you are compensating your body to keep yourself up straight. Same thing goes with your posture. If you have a protruding neck, you're going to tilt your head upwards in order to compensate, in order to look forward. But now you're starting to round your shoulders and the curve comes out of your neck and you develop all different types of issues. Will have tightness in the traps, and then because they're overworking, you're going to have other areas that are trying to compensate, because once you are overworking certain areas and they're compensating for others doing others jobs, everything starts to adapt in order to meet your circumstances, to meet the position that you're in, which is trying to go back to homeostasis, which is your body's natural resting state, in order to maintain that. But when you have everything compensating and out of whack, and you finally start experiencing pain, because it only takes the one straw that broke the camel's back, and that's when you start experiencing the pain. So the trick is you have to start to listen to early warning signs, which are often just a little bit of discomfort that you might experience periodically, but over time it starts to become worse and worse. But because it starts off so slow that you actually forget what was the actual cause to begin with. If you have felt something for many years or your whole life, you may think it is normal, but it's not. And for example, I used to always think I had bad wrists because I would experience pain when overworking them, or if I pushed them in a certain range, they would hurt, and many different aspects. However, when I finally traced it back to it after understanding these principles, I realized that I could trace it all the way back to when I was young. I broke my fingers and I on both hands, and I was in casts in both hands, and all I had was these two pinchers, and I could not bend my wrists. And even though that wasn't the source of the injury, because I was in cast for over 30 days and I could not move them, I lost the ability to have the mobility that I needed. And I also lost the strength in my wrist as well. After taking off the cast, I thought I would be able to start busting out push ups and start training again. But turns out I could even bend them and put them in that position in order to do a single push up. I had to start off by just leaning against the wall and doing push ups because it was so difficult for being in the cast, even for just 30 days. And so after I built up the strength again and the pain went away and I got full function back in my fingers and I thought everything was good, but for years and years and years, eventually, suddenly, I would start to experience more pain because that deep weakness was never fixed by the physical therapist that I was working on. They only got me back to basic function, but not to the optimal function that I was used to before I broke my finger. So you have to pay attention to what you have been ignoring, even if it starts off just as a little discomfort. This is what trips up most people, including healthcare professionals. The next thing you have to understand is pain is the signal, not the source. Most people will treat the site of their pain thinking that that must be where the problem is. However, oftentimes it is actually not where the problem is. It may be something else entirely. The fire is burning in one place, but you are seeing the smoke in an entirely different place. For years, I used to have the stiffest mid back that a former professional bodybuilder couldn't even adjust it. I had physical therapists trying to stretch it, trying to strengthen it, trying to do everything that they could. However, after figuring out through the school of hard knocks, I finally found that the limited mobility that I had in my shoulders from a past injury years ago was causing the stiffness in my back. Also, my training in the gym, which was training the neutral spine and not the rounded spine, and many other factors, was causing that stiff back. But the biggest thing that helped me with my stiff back was helping the range in my shoulders, increasing the range, which allowed me to extend fully and open myself up and have more room to get my neck over my shoulders, which would actually lower pain when I was running. And all the stretching that I did, I didn't have to stretch anymore because it just loosened up. It was trying to lock up and compensate for other areas that were not doing its job, for ranges I could not move in. And so this trickled down the line and created many other symptoms. But the doctors that I was seeing, they were treating only the smoke, but not the actual fire itself. And the problem is very simple. You just have to find what is the weak link. Once you find a weak link, I guarantee you, even if it's not the main cause for the problem that you're having, once you fix that weak link, you're going to feel so much better in so many ways that you can't even imagine. The next thing, stretching is not mobility. They are not the same thing, even though people use them as synonym and replace one word with the other. Mobility is the ability to move into ranges freely without restriction, moving in and out of. However, stretching is normally done where you are relaxing into a stretch. This creates two problems. One, you can only access that range when you're relaxing. And then two, you're not actually strengthening that end range. So once you are able to move into it, and if you cannot control it, that's when you're in the danger zone and you can get injured extremely easy. And if your stretching is not holding, this is a sign that your nervous system is actually protecting you because it knows that you're weak in that range and it does not want to enter that danger zone. Once I trained my mobility properly, I woke up not with stiff hamstrings, not with a tight back anymore. I was able to hold those ranges and move into them freely, having proper mobility. I didn't have to spend so many hours trying to loosen things up anymore. I was just loose. In order to maintain this, all I have to do is access those ranges through different movements, reminding my brain and my nervous system that I can access those ranges. And that leads into the next point. Train movement patterns, not muscles. Most fitness advice out there you find is bodybuilding training methods. And I used to be a bodybuilder, so I knew all the different ways to train every single muscle and how to hit every single one in the gym. However, the truth is, even though this information is good, it is not the most important. The most important is understanding how your body moves and moving in all the different ways that it can, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it. That is why most people cannot sit in a squat and they are not comfortable sitting into a deep squat. However, if you look at any toddler, they can easily do that. My son climbs up onto the sink, sits in a deep squat position, and washes his hands. He moves so well that you don't see adults moving like this. It's because they have lost the ability to do it. So you must train in movement patterns, and when you are able to access those ranges, you don't have to stretch in order to maintain them. You just have to move in those ways. And when you move in those ways, you can strengthen those different ranges and end ranges, which protect you from actually getting injured. However, if you have lost the ability, that's when you actually have to learn a little bit more and actually understand how to access those ranges once again, how to strengthen them, and how to move more fluently. Something that is ingrained in you from when you were born is taken away when you lose it, and it's extremely hard to get back. But when you move in those ways, you are able to live life a lot better, feel better, and not have to overcomplicate every single thing. These are the 5 things that I had to learn to rebuild my body. And once I did, everything changed for me. And I think it will for you too. That impossible wall you've been trying to go through, all of a sudden, you'll find the doorknob and walk straight through that wall. And what you thought was impossible just became the easiest thing in the world. When you stop fighting against your body's natural capabilities and start using your body how it's supposed to, then it's amazing how easy it is to actually recover from your injuries, and how what seemed impossible is not so difficult at all. And if you want to go further in depth, you can check out the rest of the videos of my channel that go much greater depth on this topic. However, if you want something a little quicker to know exactly where your weak links are in order to get them and fix them, I've actually created something that may help you. It's called the Iron Body Assessment. It's an assessment that will walk you through and help you identify where those weak links are and give you the what you need to address in order to fix them